The blizzard had been raging for 3 days straight. I moved through the Siberian wilderness carefully, following the frozen riverbed back toward my cabin. My boots crunched through knee-deep snow with each exhausting step. The wind cut like knives, slicing through my heavy parka, and the snow was so thick I could barely see 5 meters ahead. Ice crystals stung my exposed skin like tiny needles. That's when I heard it. A faint sound, almost lost in the howling wind. A human voice, weak, desperate, calling for help. I stopped dead in my tracks, straining to hear it again through the storm's fury. I turned toward the sound and pushed through a wall of white. There, near a cluster of frost-covered rocks, I saw her lying in the snow. A young woman, maybe 25, her long, dark hair tangled with ice and snow. Her face was deathly pale, and her lips were already turning blue from the cold. Her left leg was twisted at an unnatural angle, clearly broken. Blood had stained the snow around her. She had been there for hours, maybe longer. Hypothermia was setting in fast. But she wasn't alone. Next to her, partially buried in the snow, was a massive golden eagle. The magnificent bird's wing hung limp and bloody, torn by something, perhaps a poacher's trap or a brutal fall from the cliffs towering above us. Despite her injuries, the eagle's fierce golden eyes watched me, unblinking, defensive even in her weakened state. She had stayed with the woman, kept her warm through the freezing night. The woman whispered through violently chattering teeth, barely audible, "Please, don't leave her." I looked at the eagle, then back at the woman. My breath formed clouds in the frigid air. The temperature was dropping fast. Night was coming. The sky was already darkening to a deep gray. If I didn't act now, both of them would freeze to death before morning. There was no time to hesitate. I knelt beside the woman first. Her name was Katya, she managed to tell me between shivers. She had been hiking alone when she slipped on ice and fell, breaking her leg. The eagle had been injured nearby, shot by a poacher, she believed, and had crawled close to her for warmth. "She stayed with me," Katya whispered. "All night, kept me warm." I had 2 options. Carry Katya back to my cabin 3 kilometers away and return for the eagle later, risking the bird's death, or try to bring them both at once. It would be nearly impossible. Katya was small but injured. The eagle was massive, with a wingspan over 2 meters and wild. Touching her could mean serious injury from her talons, but I had made my decision the moment I saw them together. I fashioned a makeshift sled from branches and my coat, carefully placing Katya on it. Then I approached the eagle slowly, speaking in low tones. She watched me with sharp, golden eyes, but didn't strike. Gently, I wrapped her injured wing and lifted her massive body into my arms. The journey back was brutal. Every step through the deep snow felt like 10. The wind howled, the cold burned, but I didn't stop. I couldn't. The first week was the hardest. Katya's broken leg needed to be set and splinted. She ran a fever for 3 days, her body fighting off infection and hypothermia. I barely slept, keeping the fire burning, forcing warm broth between her lips, watching for signs of improvement. The eagle was just as fragile. I had built a large pen in the corner of my cabin, lined with soft furs. Her wing was badly damaged, the bone fractured, the muscles torn. I had treated injured animals before, but never anything like this. Every morning, I changed her bandages. Every evening, I brought her fresh meat, rabbit, fish, whatever I could hunt. At first, she refused to eat. She sat motionless, staring at me with those fierce golden eyes, distrustful. But slowly, things began to change. Katya started sitting up. The color returned to her face. She began to smile, even laugh a little as she watched me struggle with the stubborn eagle. "She trusts you," Katya said one morning. I looked at the eagle. She had taken food from my hand for the first time. "Baby," I said. Or maybe she just knows I'm her best chance. No, Katya said softly. She knows you saved her life. By the 4th week, Katya could walk with crutches I had made from birchwood. She moved slowly around the cabin, helping where she could, cooking, mending clothes, talking to the eagle in soft tones. The eagle, too, was healing. Her wing had begun to mend. I watched her stretch it carefully, testing its strength. She was still too weak to fly, but the fire in her eyes had returned. One morning, I opened the pen. The eagle hopped out cautiously, her talons clicking on the wooden floor. She walked to the window and stared out at the vast white wilderness beyond. She wants to go home, Katya said. Soon, I replied, when she's ready. Another week passed. Then one morning, I opened the cabin door wide. The eagle stood at the threshold, her wings spread, testing the air. For a long moment, she looked back at me. Then she launched herself into the sky. We watched her circle once, twice, her powerful wings cutting through the cold air. She was magnificent, free. She's gone, Katya said, a hint of sadness in her voice. Yes, I said, but I was wrong. The next morning, the eagle returned. She perched on the roof of my cabin, watching, waiting. She had chosen to stay. Katya recovered fully and eventually returned to her life in the city, but she visited often, always smiling when she saw the eagle perched nearby. The eagle, I called her Zara, became a constant presence. She would hunt in the mountains during the day, but return each evening, landing on the tall pine beside my cabin. Sometimes she brought me gifts, a rabbit, a fish, once even a fox. People said I was crazy. Eagles don't bond with humans, they said. She's just using you for food. But they didn't see what I saw. The way she would tilt her head when I spoke, the way she waited for me each morning, the way she circled protectively whenever wolves came near. Zara wasn't just grateful. She had formed a connection, something deeper than instinct, beyond survival. In the heart of the frozen wilderness, an unlikely bond had been formed between a man who refused to leave the helpless behind, a woman who survived against impossible odds, and a wild spirit who chose loyalty over freedom. Years have passed. Katya has her own family now, and Zara, she still returns, every single day. Some bonds, it seems, are unbreakable, even between human and wild.